What's up, everyone? Welcome, welcome. I am here with Billy, my type twin and confirmed three. We met on the Discord. Uh, he reached out to Dave and figured out his social type. I thought it'd be interesting to get him on the call and compare and contrast and see how we are similar and different. And I'm going to let Billy tell his story. So, Billy, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us your how what it was like getting your type back, and then
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so got my type back a couple of months ago, and then I just reached out to Dave just to see if he had anything on record for my social type. He didn't, but he narrowed it down and took a guess, and then our guesses were the same, and we just exchanged back and forth a bit to try and get a better understanding of it all. He gave me three, and yeah, that's about it really. Just a few audios back and forth.
And you said that you sent me the audio. It sounded like he kind of did process of elimination with you, kind of compared and contrast himself. Said that there was kind of a little bit of conflict in you with your social type, perhaps, that you were talking about security. Yeah, compared to him. What's that like?
Yeah, so EP, obviously, audio, ENFP, consume, sleep, play, blast. So we're going to be more attuned to the two, from my understanding, and from my conversations with Dave, that's more of the EP type social role, where you're responsible for all this new stuff. You're like managing stuff, and it specializes less responsible for expanding outward, but is more expanding inward and expanding like the roots of the tree instead of the actual tree itself. So it's like narrowing down further into something.
Well, to kind of clarify on that, it's like one thing we've kind of been noticing on the Discord, kind of talking to the type threes, is that it seems like, how do I put it? It seems like the specialize is like doing something for its own sake. And I kind of see that in you. Like, you're like, I'm just going to play music for its own sake, rather than the responsibility. Maybe it's not the best word, but the responsibility is like, I'm going to do this to get here as a utility. It's here to here. And the specialize is I do it for its own sake. And like, so like I fawn over Token, and I look at Token's life and I'm like, Token was a 3. Token fucking just loved languages. He just went super deep into it. Spent 17 years writing The Hobbit. Actually, he was writing just languages and songs before that. And he believed in the good life. So like there's a lot of value I see in that kind of specialized, doing it for its own sake coin. I see a lot of beauty coming out of that.
Yeah, for sure. I can see that, and other people that are like speculative twos or and some confirmed twos. It seems like there is this like drive to make something a product, make something that involves other people, involves expanding it outward, and it's not worried about moving on, not worried about going in a different direction. And obviously that's probably not everyone's experience. I feel like lots of people will have something that's like precious to them that they're going to keep working on just for its own sake. But there is that tracking that some people are seeing with the two temperament. With let's make something out of this. Let's get moving.
Yeah, it seems, well, before we get into more social order, Billy, I do want to like ask you, like, just tell us about your life, upbringing, education, career, all that stuff. So
the sleep report. Let's go.
Get the sleep report going. Yeah.
Sure. So I was, an average school kid. Liked being, a nuisance. Did a lot of acting and stuff like that. But then that kind of all went away as I started high school because it wasn't cool or whatever. And yeah, just an average kid in school. And then not until about the end of high school, I just started like not speaking to people, and I had this this dream of joining the FBI and doing like behavioral analysis or something like that, because I was watching Criminal Minds at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just like sit in the library and research about that all the time. My little dream. But then I decided not to do that. Went on to just normal college. So college for us is different. It's 16 to 18, 2 years, and then you go to university.
Okay.
So I did
higher
college.
Education.
Yeah, just like higher education. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and then you go on to university. And then I just didn't really like it. I liked philosophy. I did philosophy, psychology, physics, and maths. Dropped the maths in the second year, and then I did fine in everything except for philosophy, which is kind of typical, really. But yeah.
What's your favorite philosophy that you came across?
Philosophy.
Do you have a favorite philosopher?
I don't want to say it. It's just like
Come
it's
on.
so obvious, intuitive. Rene
on.
Descartes was my guy that I went to.
I think, therefore, I am.
Yeah. I just liked his story of like being trapped in an oven and like coming out with that story. Cogito ergo sum, all that kind of stuff. Trapped in an oven, boarding himself. I don't know why he was in an oven. I can't even remember why it was. Yeah.
Is there something about boiling beeswax? I don't know. I remember some story about that, about entomology, how we know anything.
Was something to do with beeswax?
I don't know.
Could be.
Annie, we're going crazy.
Yeah, all over the place, man. But yeah, so I'd say Rene Descartes was pretty interesting to me. I liked a lot of like the political stuff too, like the liberalism and ethical frameworks, stuff like that. You know, that I really loved all that stuff. But yeah, the rest of it wasn't really all that interested. And I got pretty bad grades because I didn't really apply myself, and I went out and just got drunk instead of actually doing any of the work, because that's what I did in high school and it worked fine. So I was like, I'll just rinse and repeat. But then it didn't work. So then did a software engineering like program. Hated that. Stayed at it for too long because didn't want to move. It's just going to go on too long. I think that's fine. Yeah. Now I'm here.
That's what you're here for. Hey, can you move your camera a little bit so that we can...
shit.
Your face is getting cut off. There we go.
Oh shit. This camera's real bad. The thing's attacking us. Okay, we're good.
Okay. The things are attacking us. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
It's not real. It's not real, Billy. It's not real. Remember that.
We're supposed to be on the same team here. Come on.
It's all in your head. Oh, did I just become a decider? Fuck. I am so ashamed. I feel
you should be.
Tribe. Yes.
Tribe shame. Incoming.
I was on Team Observer. What the fuck? Team Observer for the win. Fuck the deciders. That's right. I'm just kidding. I love you, deciders. My favorite people are deciders. My mom is a decider. My dad is a decider. Deciders are great people. Okay. I'm being...
You've single decided on all of them. It's fine.
They can deal with it. They'll get stronger. Good. It's good for them. Punch. But I just alienated half the audience. So where were you in your... So you were in programming, or where were you?
I did programming.
And it was hard. I also did programming, and it was also effing hard.
Yeah.
Jump a few degrees to where I wanted to be.
Yeah, I even ended up specializing there in a way. Like I got trapped. Like what seems to happen is I'll go somewhere. So the software program I was going to move around to all these different places. They worked with GCHQ, which is like our equivalent of the CIA, I guess, making like loads of different things. But the department I got trapped in was the cryptographic device software. Waveform encryption, yeah. And I just got stuck in the testing department. They wouldn't let me go because like I was just I was quite efficient at it. I knew all the stuff, and I was like, okay, when am I going to do the software stuff? When am I going to like move on? And they were like, yeah. But I didn't push very hard for it because bless lads. But at the same time, you know, it does seem like I get like put in places, and they're like, okay, well, he's the
You
guy
do
that
this
can do
job
that.
well. Yeah.
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 So yeah, there was that. But then I left there, did some like random bullshit. Then during COVID, went into another like techie job. Had nothing, so I just started from the ground up doing like another program, but just in general IT. And then did that for 2 years. Well, actually, no, did that for a year. Then after that, got promoted to business analyst, which is another specialized role. I'm
It's
just
a nice role.
the one guy there that does that
I
stuff.
want an analyst role. I think it'd be
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I want a GIS analyst role. But
Okay.
you know, I'm doing some grunt work now. It's just in my first year in my college. I didn't stick where I went. I jumped from thing to thing to thing. I like slung packages and then worked at Amazon and then became a trainer and then became the most senior driver trainer, which had its ups and downs.
Driver trainer. What was that? Amazon.
So I'd basically I had a 2-day class where I would the first day I'd give a presentation about like all your job duties, how to load your van. We'd practice loading the van. I'd teach them efficient methods, show them the building. And day 2 they'd go through some online stuff, and then I had people in the morning and people in the afternoon come out to a driver course, and I'd have to walk people through how to drive the van like with cones and not hit cones.
Okay.
And I actually
like a driving instructor in a way.
Yeah, driving instructor.
And are you good at driving the vans? You're really not. You're really not.
Let
good
me tell you, I liked being in front of the class. I liked being in front of the class. I liked when the thing is there'd always be one person who'd have a meltdown.
Really?
Like, I can't do it, and I'd like to get up in their face and go like, "Hey, let me tell you what to do. Here's what I tell everyone," and they get through it. And I'd be like, "I believe in you. I believe in you, little you." You know. And I get the people through
Did
it.
you do the finger as well?
Yeah, every time. That was my SI. That was my SF sleep. Little you. No, I never did that. I just made that up now. But
I think you did do it.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. But like, I would notice that every time I'd like at Amazon, I was just like, I'd show up and I'd leave early when they left early. And I went, what the hell am I doing? And then I was like, okay, teach me all the roles here. And then they started having me running around helping people. And I was like happy doing that, being a captain, being more leadership roles. And the moment they scaled those back, I got super depressed. But then I got moved to driver trainer.
Scaling back what? Sorry?
Then I got moved to driver trainer from there. So it's like,
so you were like scaling back the different things you're doing, and then
they're like go into this one hole,
Yeah.
sort packages, don't run around and help people. Like I enjoyed running around and helping all the other people, like schmoozing, helping people, managing people, making sure people weren't too long in the bathroom. There'd be people who just like you go. There'd be a guy. He's like, "Hey, I need to leave this spot," and you go to the bathroom. And it's like 15 minutes later, I'm like, okay, I need to go check on this guy. And he's just standing in the stall, and his feet are just sideways. He's just standing, and I'm like, yeah, manager, I need you to crack this guy over the head,
How did you approach that? Did you give them the fingers?
No, you always had to smooth things over. You always had to smooth things over with people. But at one point, everyone got sick of me. It was just like, I don't like to talk to that guy because I just go around talking about myself, causing problems. And then I had to go grab a friend and go, okay, what am I doing wrong? And they're like, well, all you do is talk about yourself. I'm like, damn it. So yeah, I'd have to like mellow out, hang out with the managers and just be like, I'm just here until they warm back up to me,
Yeah.
So I want to get back to you, Billy.
Okay.
So your current position is an analyst,
Yep.
correct? And like how much information is it? Does it fit your NE? Does it like is it broad in the sense of understanding, or what type of work do you do?
It's broad, yeah. So it's broad but not broad. It's one system that everything is going into. And if we have like integrations with different systems, like one's for all your work that's coming in, and you've got like payroll that's connected to that. You've got other client systems that directly funnel their information into your system, stuff like that. And I know everything about the one system and all the connections essentially, and manage those, build new ones, do general support for the actual application itself.
So it's a very like technical position. It's just like inputs, outputs, or
I wouldn't describe it as technical. No, it's more understanding and coordination. So it's like I understand this system and like a lot of how it works, but from like a higher level, I don't know like how it's coded per se, or how the integrations are set up, like how all the web server, like all the files from each thing are interacting. Like I can do the back end stuff to get like data out of it, but I'm not particularly technical. But it's me going, okay, that's your requirements as a client for this new integration, and then going to the understanding what that means, converting that into, guys, can you build this thing for them? They need it in this way. They need this data type changed to this, like stuff like that. So it's kind of technical, but not really.
So it requires you to bridge kind of the gaps in knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So probably the NE helps there. Yeah. You think?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So.
You have to, and I can't use SI to do it.
I can't use SI. I mean, no, I had a GIS job that was just like, you put in these, you just have to memorize all the parts to put into a house on the map. And I was like, my brain was burning. I was just like, I was just clicking around. I was just like lost where I was. I'd get dyslexia.
Sometimes it's perception too. It's like if it was a big house, if it's just a big house, no details, but it's like it's still as tedious, but because it's a house, it's like okay.
No. It was above map. It was a point on the map, and you're just putting data in that was just like these 8 parts of the fiber optic thing are going in this house, so that we know that that's there. And it was like, I don't know, it was maybe too many processes at once. My brain burned, and I had hit a lot of walls. And actually what happened was I had met a girl from Mexico, and I had to sneak out of the country.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I quit my job, didn't tell my family, hid my passport. And then the day came where I was like, I have to do the SI, and I wanted to give up. I was like, but this girl believes in me. And I was like, that was like burning hell, where I pushed through the fucking SI, wasted a bunch of money, did the wrong thing, made mistakes, felt like an idiot, and still got to Mexico City. So
you go there. If that was
so
your goal,
like, I was just like, I'm not giving up. I'm not letting this person down. Like, like shoot, I built all this up. I can't. And I was like, I gotta do the SI. And it was like the work wasn't enough. It was the pressure cooker of this girl got me to do the SI. And I feel like SI is way easier now. Like, I can complain to other ENFPs about dishes, and like the worst day of my life was I did the dishes. Like, someone made fun of me for the dishes. No, I'm not joking. And I'm like, they send me memes about dishes. I'm like,
I don't care anymore. I'm over it.
I don't care anymore. It's not real.
David and Sean have talked about this direct thing that you're saying. This if you focus on the problem that you have control over, which for us would be the decider stuff. Do I want to be the kind of person that freaks out about their dishes? Do I want to be the kind of person that doesn't make it to that girl in Mexico? No, I don't get. Then why am I going to give a shit about this paperwork that says I can't get in there? Why am I going to give a shit about what these people are doing, or if there's going to be a dish on the way there that's going to trigger me? Like
Yeah.
you just get there. You just find a way, power
Oh,
through it.
yeah, power through it. But it was the I need this thing. I need this thing, and I gotta do whatever I can. And it was literally the SI. It would have been like my family would have helped me earlier, and it was like, nope, they don't. They would not approve. I can't ask them for help. I'm not telling. I'm going. I'm not asking for permission. But yeah. Let's get back to you, Billy.
Okay.
Do you want to move on to the 4 questions?
Sure. Yeah.
Ready? So, first question.
Let's do it.
If you could be, what would you want to be famous for?
Yeah. I want to be famous for making, having a musical catalog and being like well known for how elusive I am. Essentially. So like,
whoa. So really, that's interesting.
Yeah. So I've made good music and nobody knows who I am. I've produced a project that people enjoy.
Wow.
And no one knows who I am. Yeah, that'd be ideal.
That's interesting. So
I'd be famous for not being famous in a way.
Bro, I want to be known. That's what I'm telling you right now. I'm like,
you are known. You're getting known. You're getting known.
I'm getting there. But I'm like, oh, my book. The AI will help me make it a movie. And I'm like, wait, we could make a world where we just plug someone into the hero's journey and we change the coordinates. The AI creates it. Like, yeah, in my world that I'm creating, I'm like, we could plug everyone into a hero's journey. That's in this framework. But I was like, my face is going to be on it because it's AI. I'm like, damn it, I'm doing it again.
Make all the AI look like exactly you, just Henry Bolt's just like.
I'm multiplying, they make a construct of my consciousness and then it just takes over the world, No. Wow, interesting. Like, so you wouldn't want to be known. Like, I'm just pointing this out for the people, like the 3s, man. Like, keep it like that's an interesting. What's the instinct of what is your reasoning? I don't want to be known.
Because I like living low profile. I like being able to go to stores without people recognizing me. Like even as a non-famous person, if I'm back, like when I'm back here where I live, like where I grew up, and someone recognizes me, I'm immediately upset. I don't want to see people from the past. I don't want to be reminded of that. I don't want to really see anyone. I just want to go to the store and then go home. Like I just don't want any drama. I see it all as drama. I just don't want to interact with it. It's just because the compliments from me, they don't really like if you get loads of fawning fans or whatever, it's you're still going to be miserable. So it doesn't, like, what's the point? Just don't even play the game.
No one told me that.
Maybe it's different for you. I don't know.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it's different.
No, you know what? I've been making a game out of it where I'm like, to speak on myself, what it feels like is, like I said, like it seems like everything in the social order stuff, if we're calling it a stack, it's like your flex is nested in your specialization, right?
Okay.
So it's like specialization first, and then within that I will flex. So if I am flex first, everything is within my flex. The responsibility, it's if I'm not able to flex and get recognition, it's hard for me to take on extra responsibilities, though I will eventually. But it's like you see that. I feel like we kind of see that in all the types. Like I was just talking to someone today. I was like, I think the 4s have a lot more in them, but like they just don't have the community structure to take on all the responsibility for take care of their friends. So like Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings, like probably a 4 or something. Like, I'll carry you on my back, my friend, up the mountain, but I'm not the guy,
Does that like kind of All right, I want to ask you. I'll ask that one second. Actually, no, I'll ask that one now. Does that make you sick?
What?
Like seeing that behavior expressed, or like
What's wait?
if you were
What
to put
specific
yourself
behavior? What specific behavior?
like the helping someone else be the victor. Do you ever see that as like,
Oh,
if I were that person,
but
I'd have to be the guy. I'd have to be the guy.
Samwise in my mind, he's the biggest badass of all.
Okay.
Like, I'm like, holy shit. Literally the final stretch of Mount Doom. Samwise Gamgee did it. So, like, in a sense, you know, there's a lot of bad energy going around about some of the social order stuff, but like, I'm looking at the fours. I get my little ego cookie from the fours. I can tell a story right now. I have a coworker who literally, like, I told him about the stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a four," and he's the fucking nicest guy I've ever met. He fucking compliments me. He calls me buddy. He compliments my shoes. He compliments my beard. And I go, Gene. He's 60 years old, and he's new, and he shakes, and I love him to death. And he's like, I just think you're a swell guy. I believe in you. I like hearing your story. I like hearing other people's stories. It makes me think less about my own problems. I'm like, this guy can't be real. This guy's gonna backstab me. This guy's gonna like, and I'm like, no, wait, he's real. This guy's real. Like, he's just a guy working here. He's just my coworker. Like, I see all my other coworkers, everyone's heads down. I imagine there's a lot of threes and a lot of mopes in my building. And everyone's head down. And this guy's just like bright and loving. And I see the value of the fours. I'm like, oh my God, I just want to give you a hug. I think if I am a one, I think people underestimate the one instinct to give to the fours. Like, there is an instinct. I'm like, I literally am like, I feel like I'm probably gonna hand Eugene a big check just to help him out sooner or later. Yeah. And I don't say that to flex. Like, I just like need to communicate that to people, because most of the times I've done stuff like that, I'm just like, I'm never gonna tell anyone. I'm just gonna help this person, and just because if I told, it wouldn't be actual charity. If I told people what I did. But poor Eugene, he's just like, I got problems. He's like, I got a friend in prison. He sends me money. I gotta send it to his girlfriend. I'm like, how did you get involved with a guy in prison? Who is this fuckwad? Like, like, you're too nice. Right? I think fours are not. I think threes, are the most common. I think fours are not the most common. I don't think they're the most rare, but I don't think they're the most common. Because you're like, how often when you're on the street do you see people who are that kind? Like, ask yourself that. So, yeah. So back to your answers to the first question, though. What would you want to be famous for? Like, the collection. Like, is there any type of music you'd want to make? Is there any type of genre? Any type of change you'd like to make to music? Or is it just I want to make beautiful music?
No, it's just number two. Just wanna make music that I think's important / beautiful. Yeah. Wow. So I have an interest in it. Is not looking to make
you're not looking to make waves. Thing. Yeah.
I'm just looking to contribute to
what?
To the wave. Like, a belief of mine, and one that Brian Eno kind of led me into, is the idea of there being no real genius on its own. That it's like a it is a wave.
I was thinking on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah, but it's less that, but that there's like pockets of genius going around. Like, that you don't really do anything on your own. There's like a scene happening
Oh,
where
yeah.
everything's, and then like there's maybe one that shoots to the top that everyone remembers, but there's always a scene that people are bouncing ideas off each other and stuff like that.
That is very true. And me and Jason talked about that because we were talking about how Nietzsche was like, we will make our own values, and we were just like, you can't. You got to bounce it off others. That's impossible. You know, he was even just preaching his own cultural context, just to a more extreme. He just took it to the logical extreme of his culture, which is interesting. But yeah, I see that kind of network connection. Like, obviously, you must rely. You're never going to do it all alone. Like, I'm a human. I'm been built up by my family, my community, my cultural context, all that stuff, all these structures. If I were just in a white room all my life, I'd be brain dead, you know?
Yeah,
For
sure. Because you've got everything that came before you that influenced you, and you got all the people around you. You can sit there and do everything on your own, and it be a very unique thing, but it's still always part of context. It's never isolated.
So I think we move on to the next question. And I gave you 7 questions, and you chose these next 3. I was a bit interested because I said, "Oh, you're demon friends," and you chose the friendship questions. Very interesting. So let's ask the first question. What do you most value in friendship?
Some kind of loyalty.
Loyalty.
Some kind of not loyalty in terms of you're never gonna like leave me behind or anything like that. It's more just like give me authentic you and I'll give you authentic me. And if that's not happening, then we don't have a friendship. And if I catch you saying things that are like not what I think it is true you, then there's gonna be like about me or something, like that's gonna be a real issue. So it's more like be loyal to the self you share with me, and I'll be loyal to the self I share with you.
That's interesting because my mind starts going. Sometimes I don't know. I swing, so I'm not sure who the real me is. You know. There's an ideal me. There's a me I want to be. And I've even had to like reassess, like, oh god, no, am I social climbing, like, and beat myself up for it and go, that's not the right thing to do, and that'll hurt everyone in the long run. You know, if you be friends with someone and then, turn your back on them, which maybe a demon friend thing, but
I think it's also there's some framing in there too. So when you frame it as social climbing, that's one thing, but that's one part of your motivation, right? Even though relationships to some extent are all transactional, there's like some NF to it. There's like friendship is all the functions, it's all everything, and it's super complex and dynamic. But there is a transaction involved. And if you're honest with yourself, you can say, oh, I'm kind of social climbing, but at the same time you just don't have any, you move on from people. It's just the way it is. But were you being genuine with the person you are? And the other thing I wanted to say is you were talking about, you don't always know who you are, and I think that's very true. We're always changing, we're always becoming different people. But you can still be loyal to that. You can go, I'm different now. I've changed my mind. I've changed my view, my perspective on things, and I'm going to be loyal to that by sharing that with you. But it's not about staying the same, but being honest and being constantly changing.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I think I'm ready to ask you the next question.
Okay.
What does friendship mean to you?
It is, I've come to learn, essentially everything you have. Now, I don't really believe
Wait. What?
it's everything you have.
Friendship is everything you have?
Yeah. And I don't believe it either.
Demon friends. Damn it.
But it is. But it is. Unfortunately, no matter what you do, no matter how deep you understand something and build something, or no matter what you achieve, if you've got no one there at the end, what's the point? I think you can try and do any of these other things to dress up the fact that we are all built in some way. Some amount of connection is needed. So, yeah, I still don't believe it either, but it's true. I think.
Well, that almost makes me want to throw a concept by you that I had when I was 18.
Mhm.
It's a bit religious. But it's like I had an
We can
epiphany
do
that
some
I was
religion.
like, what?
We can do some religion.
Yeah, it was like an epiphany that like everyone was one. Everyone was one. We're all the same thing. And I was like, oh, I had ego death. I'm so enlightened. Nice. This is like back to the same asshole I was, you know? But I try and keep that in the back of my head. I'm like, we're all like, I imagine the spectrum of me. I imagine me color shifted and just a ribbon of me's, and it's just like me shifting into someone else. It's like, okay, if me with brown eyes, would that me be that different from me? Would I say that's not me? No, I'd say that's me. And so then I bend it all out and I say, well, all this stuff can shift, all this stuff can change, and it's all the same essentially. Which I'm probably just intuition smudging everything out. But it reminds me of something Jason said to me. He was telling me a story about the Wheel of Time, and it made me cry. He said something in the story is that when the Aiel, the red-haired desert people get tortured, they laugh.
Mm-hmm.
They laugh because they think it's so silly that they'd be tortured because they're not an individual. They're part of they're not a person. They're a people.
Mm.
And so they laugh when they get tortured because, well, what the heck are you doing? I'm nobody. I'm nothing. I don't exist. And that's probably just NF, but has some meaning to it.
I think.
We'll get to it.
Yeah. I mean, I agree that it is NF.
I know.
And it's also it manifests itself in society, so we can't really ignore it either. You know, there's a spectrum of individualistic to collectivist cultures that operate totally different than ours do. So I think to deny it is and write it off as some hippie stuff.
Yeah.
It's disrespecting other cultures. Yeah, to some extent.
No,
Forgetting them.
I will say I can maybe I'm being inauthentic. Maybe I should just double down and say, hey, this is what I believe, rather than trying to save face and go, that's goopy. That's not cool. But yeah, no, that's cool. Okay. So, last question of the questions I wanted you to be prepared for.
Mm-hmm.
What, if anything, is too serious to be joked about?
Nothing. Mic drop. All right, see ya.
Really? Nothing is too serious to be joked about?
Nothing, because it's not about the content. It's not about the content of the joke. It's about the way it's delivered. It's about the context of what's happening around that joke. So nothing.
I'm going to have to disagree with you there, and I'm not going to tell you.
What it is.
Yeah. People will find out later. Yeah.
We'll find out later.
Yeah. Find out later. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay. Really?
I wonder if this question will become a significant question in my upcoming interviews. If it will reveal certain things about people. So,
Okay.
but maybe I'm
Yeah,
just
I mean, it
projecting
could do.
because of my answer, what it means for me. So, I'm an ENFP. I'm supposed to say same thing as you. You said the stereotypical thing.
I am a stereotype. Yeah, I'm
Bad ENFP. Smack.
I'm thinking now. I'm thinking. What can't be joked about? Can I joke about someone's? I don't know.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
Don't worry about it. I think this can get very serious and very dark real quick. So we don't have to.
I'm sure it can, but
Exactly.
I'm having a missing info freak out. So
You are having a missing info freak out?
I am.
Good. I like that. So now that we've gotten through all those questions, you had told me earlier that you had thoughts on social order. Did you want to kind of elaborate on that, or are you kind of settling into some of the ideas in social order, or do you have problems you want to point out with it, the theory itself, how it's presented?
Yes, I do. But I think the community is already engaging with them. The community seems to be. I find people in the community that have got really good criticisms, and I think it's something that Dave and Shan are looking for to some extent. But I think we need to be careful with something as potentially harmful as social hierarchy.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna say some people are just their type
This
is going
way.
to say that they're define their kind of somewhat position in life to some extent because you're set. That's what you're ranking it, which AP doesn't really do. Which kind of is scary. And then when you say that is genetically influenced, I feel like that can make people feel very stuck. So if we're going to say that, I feel like we should know that that's true.
I find it funny that you said the word stuck, which is kind of, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Actually, I want to actually address what was being said.
Okay.
Because we've got to, yeah, I think that is a problem, and I noticed that there was a lot of negativity when I first came across the idea itself of like, oh, because everyone with this type stuff since Myers-Briggs days, back in MBTI days, it was like intuitives are the best, and I'm like, intuitives are the worst. Fucking hate the intuitives.
Yeah,
Fucking sucks. Can I be something else, please? For 1 second. And it was just like, it was an excuse for everyone just to go, oh, all the bad is over there. That's where all my problems are. On the other side of this dark hill, where the darkness, where the light doesn't touch, that's where all the bad stuff is. That's where the thinkers are. That's where the feelers are. Those feelers are stupid. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And I can kind of see how friendship for me is nested within my goals. And I'm like with my coworker who's a 4, I'm like, okay, like I need to bridge and figure out how I think what he has, this thing I don't, because here's my problem. My friends, like, say I'm a 1. Let's say I'm a 1. My friends are like, hey, remember that time something happened when we were just hanging out? And I'm like, I don't call it anything. I have 0 bandwidth for we were just hanging out. It seems like all my memories are victories or defeats. My victories are my mistakes. And this bandwidth for just we're spending time together, my brain wipes it all. It's just not in tune. And I can care about those friends. They can, but they're just like, you don't remember anything that like literally happened with us when you were with us. I'm like, sorry, I saw a picture, but my brain wiped it. and it's very odd. So
Can I inquire on that real quick, like
yeah,
about?
yeah. Do you feel
Would you
like you
say
go
that
through the same thing?
sometimes a little bit, probably not that much, where I do remember just like hanging out and stuff like that to some extent, but it's do you think that that's past like the normal level of experience for someone who's like, double activated DI, like Saver DI,
Wait. Could you
consume
repeat
sleep?
that?
Like, do you think that
Favorite
that's
TI?
Saver DI? So
Oh, I thought you
you're
said TI. So it's
no
just
no
like
no.
that I'm a mope in DI, possibly.
Yeah, like how, like, do you think that's more than other people, or because I think, to give you myself as a data point, I kind of don't, but I think everyone's going to remember their victories and defeats more because it's like energy level spike or like stress.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I am remembering more of the
Friendship,
friendship stuff,
the
and yeah, it's
hanging
not
out.
totally alien to me.
Yeah, and so like for instance, just I had a random post on Facebook, and some girl from high school and middle school and preschool reached out. It was like, "What's up, Lanik?" And it was like, "Oh, I remember this time you broke your leg and you were being carried down the stairs." I'm like, "Thanks," and I'm just like, I say, "Sorry, I have to be honest. Sorry, I only remember one instance with you." And she was like, "Well, what was it?" I go, "You ran your fingers through my hair at a football game and you told me my hair was soft." And then I said, "Oh, I think it's greasy." And I went, "I was beating myself up for being a dipshit." So I was like, "Man, like if you maybe gave me the compliment and I said nothing and I just took it, I probably wouldn't have remembered." But because I was socially awkward and was like, "Oh, fuck, I said that." That's the only thing I remember. I don't remember any other. She's like, we were both the same. We were friends all over. That we had friends with the dorks and the popular. And I'm like, I just don't remember anything except for I won a race. I did well in the chess tournament. Like I was awkward here. I was awkward there. I got the girl here. It's just like, but the hanging out stuff. It feels a little alien. So like, I feel like I kind of need to like partner up with the twos and work towards something. And it's like, then we'll be winning together. And then I'll be able to be friends. Like, I feel like that is what I need to do. Cause these people have a bandwidth for the barbecue that I just don't have.
Yeah.
And it's like I know I need friends. I know I need to work with others. I know I need to do all these things. I like if you want to be the leader, you have to step off your high horse. Like yeah, it seems like when people talk about like their metaphors, people talk about like the twos talk about we're going to go on a spaceship. So let me use this metaphor I feel like the twos use. We're with our friends. We're all going to go on the spaceship into outer space with our captain. We're all going to be together. We're going to be on a mission. It will be wondrous. How do you feel about that fantasy?
No thanks.
What? No thanks.
No thanks.
Yeah. See, that's the three life.
I'll stay here.
No thanks. You're an ENFP. What? You don't want to go on an adventure?
My adventure.
Your adventure within the adventure within. Is that what you want?
I don't know if it's the adventure within, but it's my my adventure.
What's your
It has to be
adventure?
defined by me. My adventure would be to just do a boring ass life with a nice load of music on the side. That's it. I'm not going to literally say 401k, but damn.
Say it. Say it. You're gonna get everything to say.
I want a
gonna build a bigger.
401k. I want to invest $200 in Vanguard. Like, no, I'm not doing that. But it's
Do it.
it's pretty basic.
Embrace the Vanguard. Exactly.
That's my spaceship. It's the Vanguard ship.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm just like,
Not really, but it's like that's what allows me to live the life I want to live, right? So it's kind of
I'm
like
just
that.
like, and I'm sitting here. I'm like, I got to get out of this place. I gotta go. Like, I got to throw myself into hell
Mm.
because it's
Did you go
like
to
I'll get better.
Mars?
What?
Did you go to Mars if you could like? Because then you've got like less of a pack to like get on top of. You can just get on top of immediately.
Just be alone? No, no. I want the
Just like
fans. I need people there.
okay.
I need the. I need the. I need my cookie. So I have 8
Mm.
goals as well. So I have 8 goals for my writing, which I like. Once I write, I shall expand outward into the world and do other things. But like one of them was like, okay, this is gonna sound crazy. Uh, reform or start a world religion, and I'll probably reform like
World religion. It has to be
world religion. No
global.
small time cults here. Fuck that shit. That's not thinking big enough. I gotta think
Yeah.
bigger. I wanna affect, how people, interface with the spiritual realm. And
Mm.
so I get one friend, I showed him some synchronicity stuff, some magic. He's like, I've been an atheist for a while, and this might mean I need to reconsider if God exists. And I was like, and that day, fucking stoked. I was like, yeah, that's one person. That's one person, and he told me that, and I got my ego cookie. Ugh! And now I'm flexing about it. Like, see, it's that bad. It's fucking that bad. But now
Mm.
I'm like, the thing is, I kept circling. Oh, my book is going to do this and this and this and this, and I wrote it all down. And I can say,
Yeah.
whenever I say, someone says, "Oh, you taught me some discipline," I go, "Fuck yeah, it's my ego cookie. I need it. Nom nom nom." That's what gets me out of bed. If someone says like, "Oh, you taught me I could change," I'm like, yes. See, I could just keep going.
How does it relate to? Let's say you are one. Let's just theoretically go there. So let's say you get that feedback. Does it like hurt initially? You're like, oh, like you're thrown back,
What?
and then you're like, oh, but I need that to get better, and then you're like flipped
Oh,
around the
negative
other way, or
feedback?
yeah. Or like
Yeah.
someone like giving you good information, but it initially impacts. It's like, oh,
Let me
wow,
tell you, my automatic mind does not take criticism well. If I am in the
okay,
moment doing something and it doesn't take criticism well. But I realized that to get a greater good out of it,
mm,
that I had to take the criticism. So now I'm like, now, um, like in the community, there aren't that many masculine DEs, but I'm like, I value those masculine DEs because they fucking call me out like that. They're like,
yeah,
you're being weird, you're being stupid. Let me tell you how you're being weird. Let me tell you how you're being stupid. I'm like,
yeah,
ow. Okay, and then once I get the people come back and they go, "Wow, I really respect you." There's my cookie, and
yeah,
it's so stupid. We're calling it the cookie, but like,
mm,
it's your cookie is your security. It's like I want the
yeah,
security, right? My cookie is give me the compliment, give me the thing to brag about, um, and it can be the
yeah.
stupidest shit. Like I'm bragging in the NF. It's like none of it's real.
Mm.
I know. Um,
Not really real, but it's kind of really real.
it kind of is realer than real when you think about it.
It's
The most real.
it's it's so real. It's so real.
I
It
suck.
hurts.
I suck, says someone.
Okay.
Yes. Perfect. Well, I'll come. I'll get you. I'm gonna remember that. Can't wait. Can't wait. Who is Savage Studio? Okay, I'm writing this down
Wait,
in my notes.
did they say
See,
I suck or you suck?
they
Or are
said
they
you
just calling
suck,
themselves
Henry.
out?
It literally says you suck, Henry. Perfect. Now it's time to go.
Game
Um,
on.
Yeah,
Game on.
yeah. Game on, game on. The funny thing
I
was
was
like my first goal, like because
yeah.
I was spinning up last week. I was spinning up. I was like, "Arr." My first goal was like defeat my enemies. Enemies to be determined. And I was like, wait, the enemy is short term hedonism. Anyone who would sacrifice the long term for the short term, which is also me. So I have to defeat someone within me. I was one of them. So what's the most aggressive tactic in war? Converting your enemies.
Mm-hmm.
What's the most forward-facing aggressive tactic one can take?
Yeah, for sure.
Which is the way of art. It's so funny. My first time I came to the community, I think it was on A's server or Personality Academy. I was like, guys, I need to tell you how art is a flex on your enemies, and that we have to use art. I literally was saying that before any of the social order stuff. And some girl with a unicorn avatar came in and goes, no, art is about beauty and expressing yourself. I went, no, trust me. Art
Wait, was she me?
See you. Exactly. Just like all my haters, I will write them all into hell. No, I'm just kidding.
Your Death Note.
I need to stop. Oh, Death Note.
Link, whatever his name was, Light. He was probably a 1.
He was. It's evil. It's like I said that in the first. I've been saying that since the beginning. Since I was like, the higher you get to the top, the closer you are to getting to like being evil. So it's like,
it's true.
You really got to suffer and like fuck your own life up and like feel bad about it before you're like, okay, I'm gonna be a good person now. Like, yeah. But you don't want to get into trouble? Not at all. Not even a little bit.
Nope. I'm okay. I'll just follow the rules. Just leave me alone. That's how it works.
Rewrite the rules. Come on, rewrite the rules. Change the game. Change the system.
The game is already so exploitable, especially in today's age.
But think about all the people you have to save from themselves, like the drug addicts. No. Save the drug addicts.
Incrementalism. We'll get there.
I gotta save you. See what I mean? I'm gonna save everyone.
Wait, is this your answer?
Yourselves.
What you can and can't joke about?
What?
This is the answer to the question of what you can and can't joke about.
Not even close. Not even close. Still mystery. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to call that like the trauma question. Like, what's your trauma? If what can you not joke about? If someone's like, no, we don't joke about that.
Just cuts out the questions. Won't answer it.
Unless all the ENFPs just go like, you can joke about anything. I'm like, fucking assholes.
I need your answers so bad. Are you actually going to wait until the end? Like the end of this?
No, I'm not going to reveal it.
You're just not going to reveal it?
Yeah, it's a mystery.
But the answer is yes.
You'll know one day.
You can't get too far.
You'll know one day. Don't worry. I'll figure it out. You want it now? I'm not going to give it to you.
Yeah, I know you're not. It's fine. I'm over it at this point. It's all
really? Good. It wasn't that interesting, I swear.
It's right. Stop. Move on.
It's
too much. It's too much.
No, it's not. It's just enough. I like you, Billy.
I'm not gonna give you a cookie. Sorry. No, I like you too, Henry.
I got it. Good. Just write everything down anyway.
The Death Note. Updated. How would you kill me?
Death Note.
You just wrote. How would you kill me? You can kill me any way you want in the Death Note. How would you do it?
Just heart attack. I don't think you're worth any more time.
Okay. Yeah, that's understandable. not even worth a dramatic death. He's like, you're gonna have the most boring death possible.
Just vaporized.
Yeah. Cardiac.
I wouldn't kill you, Billy. Why would I kill you? That's silly.
Was it the life note, not the death note?
It was the life note. It was awaken the adventure in Billy's heart, so that he goes out.
Be one of the guys you sprinkle the money to. Have some.
Well, no, you're a 3. You don't get any money. You're fucking working for a living. Before we get the money.
Wait, did I hear you say you wanted a 401k? You got one.
You got one. What the fuck do you want? What? You worked in the system. What do you expect? What if, Billy, the system's gonna collapse? What then?
There is that.
Gotta jump, man. Gotta jump. Gotta leap. Gotta bound. Gotta do the 1-2. Gotta punch. Pow, 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 pow. No?
I don't know what you're talking about at this point. You've lost.
Okay, I think we need to wrap up then. I think it's been a good interview. I've definitely enjoyed having you here, and I hope everyone enjoys seeing the threes come out in force in the next few weeks. And yeah, super interesting. Well, thanks, Billy. I'll let you go. Peace.